Okay, good morning, everybody. Today we're going to prepare the dog's breakfast. First, we're going to get the rest of these bones out of this salmon. Then I'm going to explain the rest of these ingredients. I'm going to take this.
It could happen. We don't know. Well, I don't think it's relevant. They mentioned that at trial. They're all friends. And,
Okay, now that we got those bones out of there, we're going to introduce the ingredients. So,
brought up that one time, and
we got kibble.
that was the end of it.
Explain that. That, I'm not going to say the brand. It's not the
Premeditated.
top of the line kibble, but it's a good kibble. If anybody want to know what kibble I feed, just hit me up in the comments and I'll explain. But, I add the kibble just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Plus, you see, I take the puppies out for training multiple times a day and for play multiple times a day. So they burn a lot of calories. So I add some kibble to their food to give them some of those calories because otherwise I usually only feed them lean meats, vegetables, and things like that. Okay, so what we have here in the food processor, chicken hearts. If you can see those, chicken hearts. Here, sardines and soybean oil, which has multiple benefits. Hold on. Right, yeah, so where was that? Oh, so the sardines. The sardines, obviously, they got omega-3, omega-6, lean protein, So we put these in the bowl. Also, I don't know if you can see, but I added all the salmon juice down in there too. I put a little kibble in there to let marinate in that, soak it up. Now, put the sardines in there, and I'm gonna tell you the other benefit of using the sardines in the oil, and I'll show it to you in a second after I'm done preparing the dog's food. As you can probably hear the dogs in the background. They know it's feeding time. I'm gonna put the rest of this oil on this tray because, like I said, I'm gonna show you guys what I use that for. Okay, and the salmon is deboned, so we put this in here too. And I usually just take a butter knife. And I just mash this up, mash it all up. It's real easy. Fish is real easy to chop up. Okay. Now, as I said, in the food processor is the chicken. I'm gonna move this away so it's not so loud. This is chicken hearts in the food processor. And the chicken hearts, I get them this because this has a lot of benefits for them. You know, I got a lot of essential vitamins, minerals. You know, I got taurine in it. You know, for their heart and they vision. They got B vitamins, iron. You know, so it's just overall good for the dog. And it's really reasonably priced. You know, I usually get 2 or 3 of these skinless beef hearts. And if anybody wants to know, like I said, any of the ingredients that I'm adding, just DM me and I will give you that information. As you can see, I'm going to squirt all of that beef heart out. Chicken hearts. I'm sorry about that. Keep saying beef hearts. I'll stir that up. Stir that up. And now we're gonna add some more kibble. Troops are getting restless at the door. Mix that up. And it's 4 dogs. It's not just for 1 dog. So, you know, keep that in mind. Anybody think that I'm feeding them too much? Because actually, since I started feeding them like this, they really got to the weights that I really want them at. And the only one that is a little on the thin side, that's just naturally in her, is Nala. But she also, you know, is far more active dog than any of the others. She is all over the place like an Energizer bunny. You know, and then like I say, sometimes if you do this, sometimes you'll have a little left over, which, you know, I like to, if I do have some left over, I'll take it outside and feed it to them by hand, the treats, late at night for their training, because I do take them out for training 3 times a day. So, but really every time I take them out it's for training, even when they're in the house. It's all training, but I want to just see what they can do. See, push them to the max. Okay, that's the last of that. Might as well get these eggs in here while we're stirring again. And I don't leave the shells in there. I used to, but I don't leave the shells in there because I'm always examining my dog's poop every day, make sure it's consistent, make sure I ain't got no worms, things like that. And, you know, I just see the shells really just wash out in their poop. I don't see any real value in it. I mean, if there is real value in it, somebody let me know. But, cut it out.
Many speculate that the reason I had asked for a chair was wrong execution, and that's false.
Sorry about that. Bonsai is an all-around bully. And you gotta watch him. Because his favorite pastime, when he get restless, is bullying another dog. So we're gonna work on that. Cause we're gonna, yeah. Just talking about putting those shells in there and dropping them. Okay. Now, the eggs, like I say, I add these because once again, I got proven value, another source of protein, vitamins, fatty acids, and it help with their muscle development and skin and coat health. See, and a lot of my dog's food, I'm gonna say that, a lot of the ingredients that I put in my dog food, a lot of them provide for skin and coat health. I have some exotic colored dogs and merles and things like that. So I've always had some merles in my life, and I had one time, and the skin was just thin. I don't know, it seemed like it was always hurt. And so then I started, really focusing on a lot of foods that focus on skin health, things like that. But like I say, I like to do overall health anyway. And then, like I say, I add the kibble just to make sure that I don't miss anything. But as you can see, that's looking real delicious for them dogs today. Real delicious. They're gonna love it. Okay. Now, before I feed them, I am going to go and get my puppy, Nala, and I am going to show you guys the other uses for the sardine oil, if you get the soybean oil when you're done. And I do this with all of the dogs, but I'm just gonna get her because she's the smallest and easiest to manage. Put these dishes up real quick. Half of her hair was yanked out of her. Both her eyes were swollen shut. Her nose was busted. Her mouth was busted. And we had kept any guns in the house or whatever, which my father never did. I'd have killed my father. And I should have done that a long time ago. From that point forward, my running was all escalated. I started running away from home. Started stealing checks from my dad. Started stealing money from my dad. Trying to get out of that, desperate trying to get out of that environment. And then finally, when I was like 15, 16 years old, I left this house. I gotta get up here again anyway. I just want to get some of that oil and stuff off of there. Should be staining this countertop. Okay, now let me go and get Miss Nala, so you guys can get a view of what I'm talking about with the use of this oil.
My grandpa used to tell me the whole time, son, you need to not hold things in your head. If you hold things in, it's gonna build up.
I'm just repositioning the camera.
Wind up in trouble.
Okay.
And that's what wound up happening. I started drinking more, became more agitated, and arguing more with my woman.
And she the first one to run up in the house.
Middleman.
But come in, Nala. Come here, girl. Come in, mama.
So I go over there and do meth every now and then. I was over at his house one night. Now, I went over there with a pistol, but I did
Come here,
hit him
girl.
on Rob.
I don't know why she acting like this. She must think she's looking for that food. Hold on one second. Come on.
When I showed up over there, we had both been up for about a week straight on Christmas Eve. Argument ensued. When he got up out of the chair, I knew right then and there that we had
Here we have
heard him and
Miss Nala. And you see a close up of her nose. But this is what you use the soybean oil for. You rub it on their nose as a balm. See how shiny her nose is? Then you rub it on their paws as a balm.
I didn't know whether he was dead or not. So I said, well, I can't